Hi, happy June. This is Sandy from So It's Fabulous and Barrett's Custom Design, and welcome to my June make video. It is almost 90 degrees here in Massachusetts, and it is so sticky. I think the dew point's probably at like 95%. But welcome to Massachusetts in the summertime. It's a little humid. So here are my June makes. I had 5 this June, and I was pretty happy with almost all of them. No major disasters. My first make is this Vogue pattern that I had been itching to try. I bought it as soon as it came out. It's Vogue 9305. I just love the way this whole drapey piece works, and actually looked great. I have this wonderful, pretty burnout fabric that I got from Elliott Berman, and it looks good on both sides, which is really important because for this pattern you see a lot of the inside and the outside, and you also want to make sure that you finish your seams really well because you can see down the bottom, you can see a lot of the inside, and when this drapes down. One of the changes that I made was this little piece sews on about 4 inches. I didn't like it, it was too small, so I stitched it to about 6 to 8 inches and made it a little bit longer, so it brings the drape more to the front, and you get less of a slice of the pant, more of the fabric. So that was great. And then I wanted to make this skinny pant, and I like the pattern. I think the pattern needs some work, but it came out pretty well. I had this tencel, I guess you would call it. It's kind of a stretch mystery fabric in my stash, and what I like about this pattern, so I'm a rectangle shape, and I always have a hard time with pants because if you do a waistband, they don't stay up to make it so it's not like squeezing me, and it's very uncomfortable, so everything has to be elastic waist, and I prefer not to do that. What I like about this is it has a waistband in the front with darts, so it's a very tailored looking front with a traditional waistband, and then the back is a double row of elastic. So on the side it attaches from the elastic to the waistband. Gives you a great fit. They don't feel like they're going to fall down. Now the pants are a little too big. I ended up, for a skinny pant, I ended up taking in 2 inches on each leg. I had to make an adjustment here, but this is me, not the pattern, an adjustment here at the back of the leg to get that smooth look coming down from the top of your waist all the way down to the leg. There was some bunching there right under, right in the top of the leg area and the bottom of the hip. And so I'm gonna have to take a dart out of that. And I'm gonna show you the pattern work on how I transfer what my muslin, this is a wearable muslin, and how I can fix the pattern. And then hopefully I'll make a pair next month and you can see the change in the way the pants fit. What else did I do? Oh, and I shortened the crotch because I'm short, and that's pretty much a normal adjustment. So I just took 1 inch all the way around from the crotch to the waist. I took that off and I shortened the pants 2.5 inches. So there's quite a few adjustments that need to be made to the pants, but it's worth it because the pattern is great. I love the pattern. They weren't skinny enough, and I think I might even have to skinny them up a little bit more, but at this point these were perfect for what I needed, and they look terrific underneath the top. So that's a definite good pattern. Go. The next thing I made was the Lulu dress from Sew Over at London, and I kind of have mixed feelings about this dress. They didn't have one in my size, so I did make some adjustments, and it doesn't quite fit across the back, which I would have to make that a little bit broader. But I like the idea of the pattern, and I think maybe it's because I made it out of this navy blue peach skin, which is kind of inexpensive. It was really just a trial pattern. And I like the style so this is the sleeve, and the sleeve runs all the way up into the neckline, and I like that. So it gives it a very unique look. It's like a dolman sleeve, but it goes right up into the neckline. So that's cute. And the little front is cute with the little button in the pocket. The blue was so plain. I added this ribbon trim to the top and a double row of the ribbon trim to the bottom, and I'll insert a photo. Yeah, it's kind of a cute dress, maybe in a different style. I cut the sleeves really short, and I think I'm just not really crazy about the way it looks on, but I think in a different pattern it would probably do the pattern more justice in a different pattern fabric. But not a bad pattern. I think something that needs a little work, and I have to put some work into it to make it something that I would actually wear. The next thing that I did is the Diane von Furstenberg's wrap dress. This is my second one from Silhouette Pattern. It is based on the Diane von Furstenberg's dress. Now this pattern has a collar, and I've made it, the last time I made it with a collar, and it was a little big up through the top, and I have to make some adjustments, but this is it behind me, and I'll pop in a photo. It's made out of a rayon, I made it out of a rayon challis this time, so it's like super drapey, and I added flutter sleeves to it. I took the straight sleeve, and I took this straight sleeve here, and I opened it up. I split it and opened it up and made a flutter sleeve, 3/4 length, and then what else did I took the collar off. So because when you look on the website at Diane von Furstenberg's website, none of her wrap dresses right now have collars on them. So I took all the collar off. I took the facing out, so it's really light, really summery, very floaty. I like it a lot. And I did make a couple of adjustments from the first one that I made because it was way too big up through here. So I will also insert a little clip about how I made those adjustments. And when you make adjustments to a pattern that you like and you know you're going to wear again, and I mean, these wrap dresses are everywhere. There's actually a hashtag running around Instagram on the wrap dresses, and I'll pop it in here because I can't remember what it is. But when you make a pattern that you know you're going to make over and over again, when you make those changes, I made just a little tweak to this. I want to go back and make the changes to my muslin because that's really important. Next time when I go to make it, it'll be perfect. I can just make it up. So I love that. That was great, and that looks great on. And the last one I made is McCall's shirt dress. Again, shirt dresses are all the rage. And this is cotton, and it's a quilting cotton, but I loved the fabric. I just couldn't pass it by. I think I've talked about this once before. It has a placket on it, not a full button closure. It's a placket that only runs, you know, down 24 inches. And it's not my favorite placket to put in. I don't like the way it's constructed on this dress, but the closet case pattern Kaylee shirt has the best, bar none, popover placket and instructions, and it's worth getting the pattern just to get the popover placket. Although I do love the Kaylee, I think it's great. It's a great little pattern and has some really great techniques in it. The popover placket is perfect, so you can overlay that on this dress and it would be great. So I just did a little bias binding on the sleeves and on the hem because it has a little scalloped hem collar. So cute for summer, and I think I'll actually wear this. I'm going to a party on the 4th of July, so I think I will wear this. It's not super red, white, and blue, but I think it'll be close enough with a cute little pair of flats, and I will be off and running. So those are my June makes. I hope that you had some time to sew in June. Oh, the other thing that happened in June was the KB pattern swap. So I have a video. My last video was what I sent to Missy and what Missy sent to me. We had so much fun. And it's great because I've made a new sewing buddy. We have totally different styles, which is really fascinating because it's opened my eyes to different things to sew. When I was searching for patterns for her, I had to look for something that was very different than what I usually shop for. So it was kind of fun. And I actually bought a couple of the patterns. I bought doubles of them so I could try making them. One of them was a little vest, and so that's kind of fun. And next month I will add some of the patterns that she sent me in my July makes, so I'm going to make up some of the cute little things that she sent to me. She nailed my style, so go Missy, that was great. And I want you to go have a great 4th of July, enjoy your family, and hopefully you get some time to sew. I know I will. I'm going to be finishing my granddaughter's baby quilt because it's been hanging around for a while. She's 6 months old, so I think I better do it. But yeah, so if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I want you to all go forth and sew what's fabulous. Bye. Hi, welcome back. What I want to show you today is how I made the alterations to Vogue 9305 to the skinny pant. Now I made the large, which is a 16-18, which is my usual size, and they were way too big, which is pretty much a standard complaint for the large 4 pattern sizes. I think that they go way up on their size. One of the problems for me, and this is a pretty much standard adjustment for me, I'm flat across the back, so right below the crotch there's all this gathering of extra fabric. So I just took a dart across here on my pattern piece and that makes the fabric fall straight down without any crumples from the waist to the bottom. So in order to accomplish that, what you need to do is you need to slice your pattern just below the hip line, and let's see, make sure I get it in the frame, and cut it to, but not through the edge. And then I'm going to just overlap this, and I'm going to do this on the front and the back. I'm just going to overlap it. So I took out at this end, at the back of the leg, I took out about 1 inch, but on the side seam I didn't take any out because I don't need to take any out. The side seam is fine. It's just that there's that extra fabric bagging around just below my butt, and that's not a good look for anybody. All right, so the next issue that I had with the pants was the crotch was too long. So from here, from the crotch to the waistband, there we go, from the crotch to the waistband was too long, so I took out 1/2 inch. So at the fold line where it says lengthen or shorten here, I just fold that up 1/2 inch, and that'll take 1 inch out. So the length from the waistband to the crotch is going to be shortened by 1/2 inch. The pants were way too long. I took 2.5 inches off of them. So down here at the bottom, where the other lengthen and shorten line is, you're going to take out, fold this up 1.25 inches, and that will take out 2.5 inches. So that shortens the length. The biggest problem was I wanted skinny pants, and they were wide leg. They weren't wide leg trousers, but they were sort of like traditional trousers. Excuse me. So I took the pants, after I made them, I took them in 2 inches on each leg. That's a lot, and they were still big. So what I have done on the pattern, and I'm going to move the pattern piece up to the camera because you can't see it, even though I put the marker on there, is I don't want to make the crotch any smaller. So I started pretty much right at the crotch line and extended this mark out as you go down to take out 1 inch off of this side of the back of the leg. And then the waist, around the tummy fit fine. So I started right about the hip line, which is about 7 inches down from the waist, and started gradually, and pretty quickly went to, this is supposed to be folded up, pretty quickly went to 1 inch all the way down. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to make that adjustment to my pattern. Make sure when you're making your adjustments, you make them right, because this has to go kick back out again, so when it folds up, you have enough to hem it. So those were the adjustments that I made to the pants, and I'm going to make a pair in July to see if they fit so much better. But once they do, I think it's going to be a pattern that I will make over and over again because I love the waistband with the elastic back. They are super comfortable. So with these few adjustments, I think they're going to be my go-to tried and true pair of pants. I will let you know in July. Alrighty, here we are back for our second edit. This is for silhouette pattern 4019, Diane von Furstenberg's wrapped dress. Now I've made this dress before and I made quite a few adjustments. I like the way it fits, and wrapped dresses are everywhere like we had said before. But one of the problems I had with this dress is it's too big through here for me. And I've already made some adjustments with these princess seams. It's great because it gives you the opportunity to make lots of adjustments. But this one was still too big. So I ended up taking it in from the shoulder seam, which is fine. So I started a little tiny dart at the shoulder seam and took it in all the way to the waist. And I didn't take off very much. This is the piece that I actually took off. So you can see at the shoulder seam, it was almost nothing, and then gradually got to be about 1/4 inch, and it went down, across the bust and down to the waist, and then tapered back to nothing at the other end. Now, that doesn't look like a lot, but it's 1/4 inch. Times 2 because I took it off of each side, so that's 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch on this side, 1/2 inch on this side. I took a whole inch off the front of the dress in addition to the edits that I had already made. So now it fits much better, but what I want to make sure is I go back and transfer this to my pattern. And my pattern happens to be a muslin that I'm using. I've already made, you can see I've made multiple adjustments. I've shortened it. I've done a lot of different things to the pattern. This time for this dress, I didn't cut this neckline. I changed it and made it without a collar. But this is the front, the front, and what I did was I needed to take this piece off of here, which I have already done. I laid my piece down and I sliced all of that extra off. And I also did it to the side front piece, which happens to be a different print. But you can see that you can't see it, but what I actually did was laid it on here, and again, took it off of the side front piece. So it started at the shoulder, ran all the way down over the bust, and just under the bust down here somewhere. So that's how the patterns get, this change gets transferred to this pattern, because this is what I use to cut out the dress, and I've made it twice. I may make another tweak next time. I'll go right back to this muslin piece, so when I cut out the next one, each subsequent one fits better and better as you go along. So the changes that you make with the muslin will make the dress fit better than it would be if it was something ready to wear that you went and bought in the store. But these changes tweak the dress to make them fit you amazingly. And that's what we're after, is an amazing fit, because we're not all shaped like the fit models that are out there. And we want stuff that looks good and fits well. And we need to actually make these changes ourselves, and you need to learn how to do them. So that's the wrap dress.